How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Keaton, and in this video we're talking about why you should be starting an online business in 2022, 2023, beyond, whenever you're watching this video. Not just the how. The rest of my channel is the how, so if you want the nitty-gritty, go check it out. But we're going to talk about the why because I think it's often skipped over and you might not understand all of the benefits that really are available to you. So for those of you that don't know me, about 3 years ago I dropped out of college and started an online business. The last 2 years of running that business, I've taken home 6 figures in income. I'm 24 years old and it's just been like the most life-changing experience I've ever had. So in this video, I want to share why it's been so life-changing and why you should consider it. And then again, you can check out my channel for other videos about how to do it. The business I run is called a social media marketing agency. It's called orthopatients.com. We help orthodontists get more patients through online ads. It's a fairly low barrier to entry skill to learn how to market things online nowadays. And so that's how I originally got into it. All right, anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's dive into it. Why all people, yes, I think all normal people like you and me, should have an online business. Reason number one is money. The one everybody loves. This has been really life-changing for me, to be honest. Like I said, I make about 6 figures right now. Nothing like crazy over $100,000 a year. A lot of what I make, I just reinvest back into the business for like a better computer or, trainings or things like that. So if I didn't spend as much as I do on business expenses, I would make a little bit more on my tax return. But the point is that I literally thought that that kind of money was like unobtainable, especially without a college degree. I didn't think I'd ever make over 6 figures. And now I've been doing it for 2 years and that's like my baseline. Like I don't think I'll ever make less than this just because I know how to do it. And if I can make that much as a beginner, what can I make when I start to get more and more advanced? And this is something I think a lot of people just don't really understand. They think the only path is to go to school, get a good job, show up every day to that job so that they can please their boss and then get a raise and keep going from there and climb the corporate ladder, whatever ladder they're trying to climb. And that there's nothing wrong with that way of life. I just think a lot of people don't understand that there is a different way that they can go after their life and they can kind of speed things up when it comes to their net worth and making money by starting their own business. And that could be on the side as they work a job, or it could be their full-time gig like it is for me. Reason number two is personal growth. When I started my business, I had done like a year of college and I thought I had like decent time management skills. Wow, I had horrible time management skills. And when I was starting a business, I actually had to get things rolling, or I wasn't going to make money, wasn't going to be able to pay bills, and so I had to figure out how to actually sit down and get work done. And one of the things that I did is stop working next to the kitchen in my apartment. So I moved away from the kitchen so that I could, I wouldn't keep going to the kitchen every time I got bored or I had to work on something difficult inside the business. And then eventually I started just walking to the library at the university I went to and working from the library because there was even less distractions there and it was more quiet. Another area of personal growth that I experienced is overcoming like personal demons and limiting beliefs that I had. You don't realize how much baggage you're carrying inside your head until you try to start a business. Until you try to do something really hard with your life, business being one of these, you just won't run into those demons. And I noticed a ton of limiting beliefs and I really had to focus on getting rid of them and replacing them with helpful beliefs that were going to help me make more money, actually go out and get clients, service those clients, and be resilient. So that was a skill I had to learn. It's a skill just like anything else to replace negative beliefs with positive ones. And one of those negative beliefs was, beliefs around money. When you start a business, you can't think money is evil. You can't, shun charging clients. You have to know your worth. And all of these things tend to bleed into other areas of your life. So if you know your worth in business, you also know your worth in dating and you know your worth in other areas of life. Another piece of personal growth that starting a business helped me with is learning how to think logically and not rely so much on my emotions. So before, if I felt something, I would take that as like the gospel truth that I feel this way about something, so therefore it must be. And as a business owner, you just can't operate that way. You can't only operate based on emotion. You have to operate based on logic. So when I got a business mentor, when I first started my company, he would help me trace back some statements I said and he's like, trace that thinking all the way back to where it started. And there you'll find what the real issue is. Like just because it's in your head doesn't mean it's actually true. So trace it back, figure out what's true, and then rebuild your thought patterns upon that. So these are some really, really powerful things that I don't think end up happening when you just work a job. These things have to happen because of you, and nobody else is going to help you with them. If you're the owner, if you're the head of the company, you're the one that has to build all of these things from the ground up. And therefore you have to get rid of your personal issues before you fix your business issues. Reason number three is the skills you will gain as a business owner are invaluable. So it has been said that the only thing people can't take away from you is your knowledge and your skills. And that's very true. I was just talking to a coaching student the other day who's starting a marketing agency, and he was saying that everything sort of fell apart in this deal he was doing. He was making really good money, and then all of a sudden it just fell apart and he wasn't making the money. And so what he had to do was fall back on the skills that he had gained and go find other clients and keep moving forward. That's what I'm talking about when I say that skills and knowledge are the only thing that can't be taken from you. So the skills that I've gained as a business owner, first of all, marketing has been an amazing skill. Sales I've learned. Managing a team is a very new one to me. We've got a team of about 5 people, and motivating them, dealing with their emotions, dealing with issues that they may have that arise every single day. That is a brand new skill to me that has taken me a long time to learn. I finally feel like I'm starting to get a hang of it. What else? Negotiation, communication, productivity, typing, writing, copywriting, if you know what that is, it's a marketing term. Specific ad platforms like Facebook ads, Instagram ads. I've learned these things, and those skills you can't take away from me. They're part of me now. And so if my business fell apart tomorrow, I have 100% confidence that I could go start another business because of the skills that I have gained. It's sort of like if you've been in your career for a really long time, you're really good at what you do, you always know that you can go find another job if your current employer fires you. But I think an even better thing to fall back on is the skills of knowing how to make money no matter what the climate is. Or in other words, the skill of building a business, or the skills that are part of building a business, because there's not really one skill. It's several skills put together. All right, that brings us to reason number 4, which I sort of alluded to earlier, and that is tax write-offs. This is actually a huge one. So depending on where you live, something could cost you, or really end up costing you, about 33% more if you buy it as an individual as opposed to buying it for your company. So I have an LLC that I used to buy like computer equipment or all this, like this studio was paid for by the business because I make money from YouTube and I find coaching students through YouTube. And the studio probably costs like, I don't know, $3,000 to set up. And because of that, it cost me only $3,000. But if I had to pay income tax on that money and then I bought it, then it would have cost me closer to like $3,600 or something like that with all the taxes that I paid on income. But because of the way businesses work, you can just expense all of these things. Same thing next week, I'm going to a conference. I was able to pay for that through my business. And because of that, the conference only costs the price of the ticket, the airfare, and the hotel, not extra based on the personal income I have for that year. And you may be thinking like, okay, but I don't want to quit my job. I just want to, have like this side hustle. And what if it doesn't make money? Well, even if your business doesn't make money and you write things off on your business, then you can actually lower your income for the year and pay less taxes because of that. It's a really cool hack. Meet Kevin talks about it as well. Obviously you have to intend to make money with the business. Don't just set it up, as this entity that you buy things through and never actually do any work on. The whole point here is that we're trying to build a real business, but this is a real tangible benefit that helps save you money on taxes. All right, this brings me to number 5, which is travel. And this is specifically why online businesses are a little bit better, in my opinion, than brick and mortar businesses. So my friend owns a car dealership out here in Utah, and they import cars from Canada, and then they mark them up, based on the difference in the currency and sell them for a profit. And that's awesome. I'm super happy for him, but his business requires him to be in the office or someone to be in the office for him. It doesn't always have to be him, but if he's traveling, he always has to come back here. Whereas I can go travel for literally months at a time. I went for 6 months to Europe in 2020 when everything was blowing up, and worked for 6 months from London. Loved my experience there, met a ton of people, had an awesome kind of study abroad, so to speak, with my business. And the whole time I didn't really have to worry about it because I never visit clients in person. I have no ties. I could literally run my business from anywhere in the world as long as I have good Wi-Fi. So that has been a really, really big benefit of online business that I think a lot of people should consider. Number 6 on our list, guys, is that it's a creative outlet. Obviously, my business is everything that I do. I don't like have a job and have a side hustle. I have a business that I run that generates enough income for me to live off of. But because I love what I do, every single day I wake up and I enjoy the time that I'm spending on my work, and because it's personally tied to my income, I'm actually motivated to go do it. And once you get to a certain level in business, like sort of where I'm at now, it just feels like a playground. Like I wake up in the morning, I'm like, cool, let's try this. And if it fails, it fails. But if it succeeds, it succeeds. And I get a piece of the upside, which is a huge benefit that I think a lot of people gloss over or don't think about when it comes to owning a business. Maybe you love your job and that's great, but a business is a different type of creative outlet where you literally can do whatever you want and see what works and what doesn't. Obviously, I would recommend just focusing on what works when you're beginning and getting enough money until you can get to that point where it's a real creative outlet. But I can tell you some of the happiest months of my life were the first 6 months of building my business, where I had no clue what I was doing. I was working really long hours, but I was just loving every second of it because it was so enjoyable to just buckle down, get the work done, keep learning and applying that learning, see what worked and what didn't. All right, that brings me to number 7, which is friends. I have made so many good friends through my business. My business partner is one of them, all the people on my team. The very first person I hired to help me run some ad campaigns, we're still quite good friends. He does some work for me still. That was like 3 years ago when we originally talked. He's just a really good guy and we get along really well, so we talk. One of my best friends that I lived with while I was in London, we met through a course that we both took building businesses. And then through the 30, 40, 50 plus people that I've coached when it comes to building their online business, I've become good friends with them. Even if we've only had one call, I feel like we have a connection because they're willing to share things with me that other people wouldn't be. And what's cool is when I travel, I'm like, oh, we're in, Orlando. I had a coaching call with this guy from Orlando. Let's see if we can meet up. Or we're in DC, let's see if we can meet up with someone there. I recently opened a group coaching program for people that want to start marketing agencies. And I thought it was going to be all people from the US, but it's actually like one person from the UK, 2 people from Canada. We've got a group from Mexico, 1 from the US and 1 from Australia. So you can see how this just brings the world a lot closer together. It makes me a more cultured, educated person interacting with people from all over the globe. And it's a real benefit of running a business that does business everywhere. And the last reason, guys, number 8, is a better work-life balance. I honestly underestimated how much a work-life balance has really helped me to enjoy my early 20s and now into my late 20s. I'm sure I'll continue to enjoy the work-life balance that I've built now. But honestly, I work like 20 to 30 hours a week on my company. And then I do also coaching on the side and record YouTube videos and stuff like this. And that's the business that I'm trying to grow up to a sustainable income because I'd love to do that full time at some point in the future. But if I'm not feeling it, or I'm having a bad day, or I'm sick or something, taking time off isn't this huge ordeal. My wife, I love her. She's a school teacher and she had to take day off and she only has like a couple vacation days left for the year. And I respect anybody that works in a job. Obviously, everybody has different ways of going about life, but having a business is so much better for your work-life balance. I can leave in the middle of the day and go work out, which I do pretty much every day. Again, I can go travel and work, and I can just enjoy the time that I do work and not worry about somebody breathing down my neck the whole time. So guys, these are my 8 reasons to start an online business. I really hope that it helped and that it's motivating you to start putting in the work. If you're interested in different ways to start an online business, definitely check out my channel. I talk mostly about starting a marketing agency because that's what I know best, but there's tons of other ways to make money online, and I'm happy to point you in the right direction. If you just leave a comment below this video, I'll point you to like a YouTuber or a friend I have that started a specific business. And I promise, guys, that this is real. Normal people like you and me do this literally all the time. 3 years ago, my goal was to make like $5,000 a month for my marketing agency, and fast forward 3 years, now we're making like 60, 70, almost $80,000 a month. I employ 5 people full time, and I bought a house with the money that I've made, purely with the money that I've made from business. So I can promise that living life on your own terms is really worth the sacrifice, and it's really not that risky nowadays. There's so many quote unquote safe businesses that you can start that are very proven. The model's there. You just have to put in the work and get rid of your own limiting beliefs, and you'll be able to do it. Thanks so much for tuning into this video, guys. I hope it helped, and we'll see you in the next one.